Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spirit Switchboard. I am your host, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, and you are watching us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM, New Orleans. Today on the show, I have my dear friend, Joni Skinner, Joni Templeton-Skinner, author, podcaster, true crime mysteries beyond the veil with Rift Nation Network, intuitive, all-around fabulous, shining light. Makes me laugh.
I know. I'm still laughing.
Anything love related. We're going to talk astrology and love. And you have to have a sense of humor, otherwise you just get exhausted.
Yes, we have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's called synastry in astrology.
When you get exhausted from
dating, like astrology compatibility. Yeah,
compatibility.
Dating is exhausting. Period.
Dating is exhausting.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for being here.
Sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. And the hitman. Now he's going to talk about dating.
I'm so happy, Howie, that you have Sarah, and it's so syrupy sweet, and it's lovely to watch.
You know, speaking of, I know he won't mind if I say this, but that is a Libra Aquarius combination.
Oh, okay.
Those two. He's an Aquarian.
His star sign, his sun sign is Aquarius?
His sun sign is Aquarius.
So, okay, well, let's back up just a quick second. So Howie is Rift Nation Network, has so many shows on their network that are fabulous. New shows always coming up, so please check them out. Joni's show, we're going to do it now so that we get in as much as possible. I have it on the ticker tape along the bottom as well too. It's Astrology Meets True Crime is the website. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right? My website. Yes. Yeah,
that's the website. And I just took Joni's Astrology 101 course, and it's brilliant. And she's got another one coming up June 22nd. She is beyond helpful, gives you astrology has, and it's still a little bit, because I know that you're going to teach us about transit next, but it's a little bit overwhelming.
Look, veil. Veil.
True crime mystery is beyond the veil.
I love him. He's
Me
just
too.
Darling. We just adore him.
We adore Howie. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for being here. Hi, Sherry. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for being here. Yeah, astrology, because especially if you're looking at a chart, all the lines going all over the place, it's super overwhelming, and you break it down so matter of fact, and you break it down in a way that's easy and at levels that we could process. It's not too much dumped at one time. You really make the effort to go at a pace that's not overwhelming. Doesn't throw me.
I'm simple. I like simple, and I don't like words that I don't understand. You know, and I think astrology.
I like simple. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Teresa. Well, that's the thing. Even when I'm teaching intuitive development or I'm talking about mediumship, it needs to be simple or people aren't going to do it. It needs to be easy to process, easy to get into the habit of doing.
Right.
And I don't know. I think for me too, maybe there's just a big avoidance part that's happening for me. Because with the homework that you gave, I went right to my son. Let's do your chart. Look at you go, boy. I am so proud of you. Look at all this good stuff you've got happening. No wonder why that's happening. And I haven't researched mine yet.
Well, I think you can almost get into a danger when you look at your chart for everything. I rarely look at mine. Now, if something is really weird, you know how you feel like, wait, something's a little weird going on. And I'll look at my chart. I'll look at big transits. I'll look at big things. But I think you can get into where if you look at it daily and then maybe expect I don't know. It's almost like, well, this planet's made me do that. Or I'm going to stay in bed because Saturn's doing this. Oh, we're going to have it blown up. Oh, I did there. It's called a synastry chart. You put a couple's charts together and you look at their weaknesses and their strengths. So it's almost like you can tell a partner, well, you know, she's going to do this. She's a Virgo. She's going to wear Post-it notes on her forehead. You know, and you're going to look at him.
You know, I have a child that's a Virgo.
They do that.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, you know, lists. Everything's a list. And everything has to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So when you know that they have certain characteristics,
right,
and kind of, it's like you can kind of say, well, you know, that's the Virgo in them, or that's the Leo in them, or that's, you know, the Libra.
So I used to poo-poo it a lot. I'm going to be honest. I used to poo-poo a lot of the astrology stuff because introduction to astrology was newspaper or teen magazine, 17 magazine, like teen stuff, right? And it just felt general, like it didn't make sense to me. But now that I've taken your course and I've watched your podcast, I've heard you talk, I understand that it's not just about our sun sign. It's about all the, like our moon sign, and it's about the other signs as well too.
You paid attention.
I paid attention.
You listened.
I'm learning. I would listen to you read a dictionary, Joni. You could read the dictionary and I'd listen.
But, you know, the thing about it is with astrology, and I think why I love it so much is because it's so accurate, and it's frighteningly accurate.
Yes, it is.
Crap.
I understand it so much more now, and it is accurate. Very, and that it doesn't lie.
No.
Like it just doesn't lie. There's no lying around it. There's no emotions attached to it that can be influenced in any way. Yeah, I am on the astrology boat now. I'm on the train now.
Good. Now, you know, it's
what's the Love Shack, Howie? Howie's saying we need to bring Carolyn on when
that was a Saturday show that we did where I would do the synastry charts for couples, and then they would come on, and then we would talk about their chart.
Oh, I thought it was
interesting. It was interesting.
We were doing the astrology dating game.
Yeah, like the dating game. And then Howie, of course, would have his, you know, philosophical and spiritual background, and it was
yeah. Cool. And so working as a medium and an intuitive in sessions, that stuff will come up, right? Like for me, I get the woo end of things and the emotional end of things. Yes. And it's neat watching what I can pick up and what the charts show and how they kind of line up with one another too.
It is interesting. And even like I did cheat a little bit with my grandkids, because when they were born, I thought, we've always heard that intuition is, it's hereditary and it'll pass down through grandmothers and generations. Well, that's just what, from the old.
But grandmothers on either side, like grandmothers on dad's side too, or usually mom's side? Because like,
I think moms.
I don't
know.
I'm all weird. Anything that is supposed to be normal, I'm going to be the opposite.
Then you'd have to ask an ancestor. I mean, you talk to him, you can ask him. Find out for me.
I get the other side.
Yeah, when you ask your
Howie's saying
ancestors,
moms, but I don't know.
that's a
Hi,
good
Dad.
question to ask one of your shows.
I'm going to pull them
Ask
in and see what they
somebody.
say. But it's always my great grandfather on my dad's side who
See?
used to read tea leaves and stuff, and
And
that's
there
my
you go.
dad's side.
Well, see, it
Yeah.
could be but I did
Hi,
check.
Bob. I saw you outside the house with all the action happening.
Hi,
I'm
Bob.
glad it's quiet. Glad you're here. Howie's just saying very rare for a man to have high intuition. Wow.
Really?
I know that it was my great grandfather who was super intuitive, read tea leaves, gave readings, switched water wells, and I know two for sure, but two boys for sure are very, very gifted.
That's weird because my great grandfather, John McDermott,
Thank you, Kathy.
was the one that would come into my mom all the time, and he's
Oh.
around me a lot. So it was great grandfather. So see, that's a man, but I don't know. You have to ask.
I have adopted the attitude that it can be whatever it's supposed to be, and it doesn't have to be one particular way.
Right.
Across the board. You did say rare. You did say rare. That's how I like my steak too.
Me too. Me too.
Almost mooing.
Me too. It has to. Yeah. Me too. But
this is why we're karma cousins. We have to
Yeah.
be karma cousins or soul family somehow.
It has to move.
Oh, Bob. Well, I'm glad that you were there, and I'm glad that you called.
Oh,
It was pretty hectic.
that could have been dangerous if the wind was blowing, and yikes. And that's why when you look at a lot of the astrology with like fire stuff going on, you can see disasters too occur. I mean, it's just really weird. Very accurate.
It is crazy accurate. And honestly, people, you all need to be watching Joni's podcast. And then Howie, you've got, I can't keep track now. Is there 3 shows or 2 shows?
2. He's got 2.
So the G3, the one that's talking about equipment and theories and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember what night that is.
That's Sunday.
It is on Sunday? Both shows are on Sunday?
That's Sunday. And then he's got the Orion effect.
The Orion effect. But what about, isn't there another one that's the first Saturday of each month?
Yes. The Outlaws.
Something. Oh, yeah.
Paranormal Outlaws with Keith and...
I just kept hearing Cowboys.
The Paranormal Cowboys.
The Paranormal Cowboys.
Howie and Keith.
Oh, yeah. I've watched it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's less structured.
Yeah.
It's less structured.
They have fun. They're fun. I'm proud of you that you know what a moon sign is. You paid attention. You guys paid attention.
Yes. And the moon sign's about emotional compatibility. I was paying attention.
Yes. And the ascendant, you have the big 3, the sun, the moon, and the ascendant. The ascendant is what people see. It's your personality. It's not your sun sign.
That made sense to me because my ascendant was Cancer, and I'm a Leo. And it just made more sense to me because there's aspects of Leo that I resonate with, but not with the other parts, right? So it definitely resonated presenting like a Cancer.
I think you've got a lot of Leo too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I agree.
I think you shine.
I shine when I'm supposed to. This is my job, so I can shine in front of people. But other than that, I just want to be on the couch with my dogs, or I don't need to be in a party. And I do not need to be center of attention at a party. I get super uncomfortable. I am a wallflower. I'll find the corner and or a dog or a cat. If you got a pet, please invite me.
See, that's
how you'll find me.
That's your Cancer rising, because Cancer loves to be at home. They love their home. They love the security of their home, and they nurture everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I will cook and bake, and I am happy in the kitchen that way for sure.
And then your intuition is connected to the moon, and you've got that Scorpio. And Scorpio is the intuitive sign. So there you go.
I'm telling you, I was just like, oh, pause, Carolyn, because you're about to overshare. But you're gonna get the overshare.
Overshare. Just do
when
it.
friends come. It's like my lady bits go, oh, look, there's a Scorpio in the room. Like a GPS. Here we go. There's a Scorpio. It's crazy. And that's not in alignment for me. It's not good.
Do you know what I call that? And Howie will attest to this, because I say this. You know what I call it? The Scorpio magnet.
It is.
Anybody that's got a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio rising, or a Scorpio moon, you have a built-in magnet.
Oh, well, I have the Scorpio moon, and I'm not sure if I'm liking the magnet that I've got.
It's like, and it's true. Like when you put, like Keith is Howie's got a Scorpio moon.
Me too.
Scorpio. Yeah. It's like a bat signal comes on when those two are together. It's like I sit back and laugh because it's so that's the perfect word for a Scorpio, is magnetic. You just watch it. It's hilarious.
It is. Okay, let's come up here. Bob, I'm not sure why you're saying sorry. It's all good. I'm not going to put that information up on the screen for everybody. I'm just going to leave it in the chat right now, Bob. But that's interesting because there was another incident like that. I'm not sure if it was here locally in the Tri-City area for sure, which is interesting and sad all at the same time. Mariel is Scorpio moon. Wow. Yes, indeed.
Magnet Mariel.
All my stuff is like intuitive related. Haley, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you came today. Looking forward. Yes. Haley's just saying, looking forward to taking the course and learning more. I'm excited that you signed up as well too. Thank you. Miss Michelle Plummer, is there another sign up for the June class? Yes, I missed the first one.
Yes.
22nd?
June 22nd. And you can just private message me on Facebook or go to the website.
Yeah, for the Canadian peeps that are wanting to sign up, make sure that you sign up ahead of time so that you can get your books.
We're going to have them. I'm going to email the majority of the information now.
Oh, good.
Because it was just outrageous to mail things. But we're going to have people, if they want the book, to get it through Amazon.
That's
presents. Good. We have presents. That's another good word. Presents.
Mariel sharing. Follow the daily moons. Yes. Have a heads up.
Right. And that's important too with our Cancers out there. Follow the moon patterns. Because a Cancer changes, they're a little tad moody. And the moon changes every 2.5 days. So when the moon is in like a water sign, oh God, that's when our Cancer people just don't do anything because they're going to want to cry. If it's in a fire sign, clean your house.
That's so funny.
If it's in an air sign, you call people because you're going to be chatty. So earth sign, go out and garden.
Do you feel that our profession could also influence that? Because sometimes I could be chatty, but not usually, because I'm so tired after doing sessions during the day and doing all this work. It's tiring to blank.
Well,
like,
here's the thing. You start at 7 in the morning and you go to 11 o'clock at night. Anybody would be tired.
yeah.
So, and you go 7 days a week. So that's why I keep telling the calendar. You need a Virgo to take over your calendar.
I have my friend Carol takes very good care of my calendar. It's me that gets on there and interrupts everything and adds stuff.
See?
It's me.
She needs to just like password you out of it. Lock you out.
She does need to password me out.
I would lock you out of it and say, no, you have to get through me. She's going to have to do that.
Yeah. Hi, Sandy. I'm glad that you're here. Oh, Sandy took the course too.
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
Ed is just sharing. Yes, yes, yes. Profession does influence on multi-levels.
Yes. And I think too, people that know energy, when you are down on a 3D type level, that's the word people use now. But then you go up to a higher level, you're up and down and up and down and up and down. That can wear you out as well.
So I don't come down too much until I'm done, because I'm sharing it out. I'm oversharing lots today. So we tell people sessions are an hour, but we book an hour and a half in case I go over, because a lot of times I'm going to go over. And I don't want to feel rushed, like if it feels like there's a lot of information coming through, or if they have more questions by the time I'm done my part, I don't want to feel like that hour's up and now we got to go. So I always have that buffer room. So I use that buffer room. So sometimes I've only got 5 minutes to end one, and then I get right into the next one. And I know kind of how it goes. Right. So it takes me 3 hours to come down. Sure. And I get really cold. First I'm kind of like Homer Simpson, Al Bundy mashup on the couch. I really would like to be, no pants should be an option, but comfy as possible. And I can't even think straight. Like people asking me questions, but then I just need that little bit to ground, and then maybe something to eat. And I get the cold chills really, really bad. Like shivers as I'm coming down, and then I'm just tired and good. That's kind of how it goes. But it takes about 3 hours if I've done a full day of sessions or a bigger event.
And when is your last session usually? When is your last session end usually?
Wednesdays and Thursdays I work late. So Wednesdays and Thursdays I finish by 7:38 by the time I'm sending notes to clients.
She needs to lock up your calendar.
So
I've been saying that. I've been telling you that.
Yeah, but I'm booked until like February 2025 right now. So my schedule's going to be this way until February 2025. But it sounds like I don't have room, but I do have room in there for dating, I think.
Well, and I think with I like a Leo woman with a Libra man. I don't like remember we talked about this today, and I said, you see compatibility, like you read about it or you Google it, you're going to see that people clump up all the air signs, which are Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Oh, that's who your best match is. All the water signs. Well, that's kind of like people that are alike. Do they get along, or does it kind of get boring?
Right. How would that spark?
I don't think it does spark. I think it's.
Me too, Haley.
So I think Leo women, I think a Libra man or Libra partner is your best bet for a Leo.
So why?
Because a Libra, this is why I say that. Leo women are very strong. Now, Leo went and I've always said this, I can spot a Leo a mile away, because When they walk into a room, they have that aura. And I don't mean it's like a here I am aura. It just comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
It's built in. They can't help it. And they are normally the people that everybody flocks to. And then you've got that Scorpio on it too, which makes it even worse. I mean, makes it even harder. That's like
Worse.
So Leos they can be very dramatic. They usually dress beautifully. And they are normally the center of attention. And they don't do it because they just do it because they're kind. They're fun to be around. They're positive, and people like that positivity.
Right.
Sagittarius is the same way. But
that's what Bob was saying. Bob was saying Sagittarius as well too.
yeah.
Haley are a day apart.
Wow.
It's fun.
But see, so I think a Libra man, they dress beautifully, right? They love fashion and they're very fashionable. And I think a Leo would like the way that man looks.
Right.
Okay. And number 2, he would be so proud just to stand back and admire that and say, they would be very proud of you. I'll give you an example. Here's my example.
Right.
It might not be popular, but it might be.
I know your example.
You know my example because I am a Swiftie grandma by default.
Yes.
Because of my granddaughter, who is a little Swiftie. So I have to listen to all the albums. I have, when she's in the car, she screams the song. Oh, it's a riot. I got my bracelet on. I got a Swiftie bracelet for my granddaughter. So she said she loves astrology. She's 10. And she's like, what is Taylor's a Sagittarius. What is his chart? I said, well, we're going to look at it. He's a Libra. Look how he treats her with her fame.
Yeah.
See how he treats her?
Mm-hmm.
He's always protective. I like the match. I just like it. She's a fire sign. I forget what else. He's got, he's got Sag in him too, though. But see,
Diane Brighton is just sharing depends on your moon sign.
Yeah. Yeah. Depends on your moon too, because that's emotional as well. Same, Michelle. She's so cute. But there's a lot of factors, but I think I just, you just got to, earth signs are down to earth. So sometimes air signs are good with earth signs.
So, okay. What are the earth signs?
Okay. Our earth signs are Taurus. Okay. That's our earth sign is Taurus. And then we have Virgo. And then we have Capricorns. There's our earth people.
And now fire.
Fire signs are, you ready? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Oh. Okay, water signs.
Water. Are we ready?
My sister.
What's your sister?
She's an Aquarius.
Oh, no, that's an air sign.
They're air?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's an air sign.
Apparently, I was not fully paying attention.
I only mentioned it like once, but it was like towards the end of the class.
Okay.
That was a lot of material.
It was a lot, but good.
It was a lot. So our water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Oh. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Those are our intuitives. But again, misconception because everybody I feel is intuitive. And then what do we? Oh, air signs: Libra or Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
And so, do the qualities of each one differ between genders?
Yes,
or is it? It does.
It can. It can. Yeah. They're going to have a lot of the same characteristics, but like everything else, they're also going to have a rising sign and a moon sign, which makes up that person.
Mm.
But the sun sign characteristics are fairly close, but there are some differences.
Michelle's asking, what would Pisces match?
Pisces match with.
So is it better to try to match with just your sun sign or looking at your ascendant as well too?
I would look at all three. I would get the whole, like, get the time of, like, if you're going to date somebody, I want their birth date, where they were born, and the time. So that way we can use noon and get we can get an idea.
That makes it feel even more exhausting, but that would like weed people out.
It would weed them out. A Pisces. I would think another Pisces.
Really?
Yes. I would say another Pisces. That's only because I put Pisces almost in a league of their own, because Pisces is at the end of the zodiac. Pisces, the world is almost too mean for Pisces.
So Diane is adding to that conversation because she's Pisces and was married to a Pisces man who is now a former husband.
Yes.
So the other signs, the ascendant and the moon, would have played a factor in that.
Absolutely. But yeah, there are differences between the men and the women.
Oh, okay, Howie, I'm trying to keep up. Howie's saying we are the spiritual.
The Aquarians are the
No, I would not say that my sister is a hippie. Aquarians stay away from Pisces.
They're the futuristic mad scientists. They're the futuristic. They're the collective. Everybody's equal to them. They're the humanitarians.
My sister, the Aquarius people?
Yeah. Is
She's
she?
February 10th, Howie. My sister's February 10th. And she's got kiddos that are in February as well too, all at the beginning of the beginning of the
Aquarius.
Yeah. But my sister, she's kind of like she's Mrs. Doolittle. She's Dr. Doolittle. She just wants all the animals more than she wants people. She'll save the planet and the animals.
Save the planet too. They do. They find causes. They're the people that are out there marching in equality and humanity. They're the humanitarians. They're the ones that need to take the lead. They can make the world a nicer place.
I love that. I love my sister. Actually, I think, it was 2 weeks ago. I think my sister was on with me. We were talking about cryptids that we wouldn't mind having in our backyard.
What?
Yeah, what kind of cryptids would you not mind sharing space with?
None.
Yes, we found some that aren't so bad. Like, so the Chickcharney looks like a big owl and it doles out karma. So if you're good, it gives you blessings. If you're not so good, then, you get your head twisted off 360 degrees. But it looks like a cute owl. And I'm like, I'd have that in my backyard. So
how big is he?
It stands 3 feet tall, bends over pine trees and makes a nest. And my sister is
bird? Is it a bird?
Yeah.
And he looks like an owl.
Looks like an owl with its, how an owl, when you lift their bodies up, their legs look really long?
Yeah.
So the Chickcharney looks like that all the time with arms and wings.
I don't want a Chickcharney around me.
I would. Mm-hmm.
Does he give out good stuff?
Yeah. So if you're good, you get blessings. If you're not so good, you get your head ripped off.
What are his blessings?
I don't know.
We need to, where do you find these guys? We need to go on a Chickcharney mission.
Bahamas, want to go?
Is that where they're at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I love that, Howie. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to get back on track.
Why are they only in the Bahamas?
I don't know. I don't know if they've been found other places, but I had found a bunch. We talked about a bunch of cryptids that don't have as much of a scary folklore, mythology attached to them, ones that are not so, like the Loch Ness Monster. And we have one there's a lot of lake monsters in Canada, and they call them monsters, but they haven't done anything. They just kind of like float around and they're big. So I'm like,
swim around.
Sarah, I forget. Please remind me.
Yes.
Are you an Aquarius too? Yes, Howie, we need to do an owl show. We need to find a date that's going to work for you.
A chick journey.
Make it happen.
We need to go find a chick journey. I love
owls and aliens. Michelle is asking, what does it mean if a certain sign surrounds you? Like, I know a lot of Cancers and a family. That's my sister. She's 3/4. Her family is all Aquarius.
Well, when you have a lot of Cancer people around, they're going to love to do things around the home. They're going to be nurturing. It can be moody. So if it's family oriented, there can be a little bit of bickering and a little bit of, but they never really get too mad, but it's a lot kind of like nitpicking stuff. But the majority of the time, they're very loving, very nurturing.
So when we have a lot of one sign that is around us, do you feel there is some kind of soul contract that it's balancing us out? Or is there karma being played out? Is there a particular reason why a lot of signs would show up in a family structure or around someone?
Well, you would have to look at the North Node, because the North Node is the soul contract.
Right.
So I don't know if it would be when you do your North Node. Of course, that would be, your sun sign. You're going to know, it's like mapped out before you come here. So I would say yes, because it's all mapped out.
I was going to grab it so that I could show people.
Oh, what?
Do you have a map close by?
A chart?
A chart?
Well, yeah, I got a whole box here. I just came in from work, so let me see.
Thanks, Joni.
I might have your chart right here, because.
Oh, Sarah, see, you're a Scorpio.
Let's see. Let's see. I'll just put up. Okay, this is an event chart, but it's kind of like this is a case I'm working on, because I do forensic astrology. So, like for the
just fascinating.
Yeah, but this is what a chart looks like. See that? And there's your lines that you like.
Yeah, that get me overwhelmed.
Oh, there you go.
And now, so everybody's chart looks different, and and depending on your time, where you were born, all of that stuff. And so the North Node can land in a different house for everybody. So you have to look at your North Node to figure out what house it's in to understand the karmic kind of contracts.
Okay, here you go. Here's you. If you don't mind me showing it, but
people just do it.
Here's your chart.
It's an overshare day. You can all look at my.
Okay, so this is
my chart.
Okay, see, now this is what I'm sending to you. See that?
Yep.
Now, that is, we have a huge, and I'm sending them out to everybody that took the class, because we're learning transits. So transits are when the planets move around your chart and they interact with your natal chart. So see those yellow highlights? That's abundance for you, Miss Carrie Lynn. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at all
For
that.
a year.
Abundance in all forms. I'm open, ready, and allowing.
Dude, it's great.
Good stuff. Joy.
Man, it's good. It's all in the spiritual realm.
Did you just say an abundance of man or just man?
No, I said man, not a man. That would be Mars. Let's see where your Mars is in Aries right now.
Turquoise Archer, I'm seeing your question, and we're going to put it up here in a second.
Okay. So that's what your chart looks. But that's it. That's the interesting stuff. Look, do I have charts? Do I have people's charts? Yeah,
Kind of need.
we got a few.
I don't know how to pronounce this word properly, so I might butcher it, and
Oh,
I'm apologizing.
Okay. Now,
Can you read the question, Joni, first?
Yes. What this is there is a lot of talk about. Did we talk about this in
No.
class? Maybe. Okay. This, I don't know how to pronounce it either, but it's in between Sagittarius and Scorpio, and people think, and it's a constellation. Okay. So no, my answer is no, because actually I just had this conversation with my friend, and it's like it's just another constellation, but it's not in the original Western astrology that I practice.
Right.
Now, if you want to practice that type of astrology, I don't even know if there is one with the 13th sign. If that were the case, you would be a Cancer sun sign. I would be a Virgo sun sign, because we add an extra sign in there, because he's between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So my answer is no. But it is a constellation up there with Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Interesting. Laura Nash Arnold is just sharing, I'm a Pisces. My hubby, my soulmate, was Capricorn. Sadly, he passed away suddenly 3.5 years ago. We were together 36 years. That's beautiful. I'm glad that you had 36 years together. I'm sorry that he passed away.
And you know how beautiful to have met and spent 36 years with the soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's just phenomenal. I mean,
my grandma passed and she was 91. She would have been 95 last weekend if she was still here. She had a heavenly birthday. She would have been 95. And her and my grandpa were together forever. So I'll be 53 this summer. So in my head, I keep telling myself, grandma and her siblings all lived till well into their 90s, that I could still have the opportunity of 30 years with somebody.
Me too. Yeah.
We just need to get on it.
Yeah.
We need to get on it.
We need the Libra, and Capricorn with a Pisces would really keep Capricorn is an earth sign. Capricorns are very work oriented. They've got a great dry humor, but they would keep a Pisces very grounded.
Diane, I agree. I think we need to get little sibling Charnies.
I want to go find
the Tootsie Pop for sure. The Tootsie Pop.
I want a Chicharni. I want to see a picture of one.
I have two. Linda Nelson is just sharing. I have two Aquarius daughters, but both are so different. Their birthdays are only 4 days apart. So that would play a factor, right?
You're absolutely. This is what it is. We have the sun sign, the rising sign, and the moon sign. The rising sign is the personality. That changes every 2.5 hours on a chart. So you're not going to find a lot of people that are really alike.
I love that.
Yeah.
That would be boring.
Oh, life would be very boring. Now, twins are a little different. Twins come out really, twin charts are really cool to look at because they are very, very alike. But twins are different. So explain that to me.
And then that's why they have that intuitive connection.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Cindy Cordick is just sharing, in my chart, my north node is in my 6th house.
I know, Sandy. So is mine.
And 6th house, for those people who don't know, what is the 6th house?
The 6th house is day-to-day routines. It is service to others. It's your job. It's health. It's your house of health. So it could be, depending on what the sign is with that north node. North node is your soul contract. It's what you came down here to accomplish. So give me the sign, Sandy, and I'll be able to answer that. Because your south node would be in the 12th house because it's opposite. It's the opposite house. And your south node is your past incarnations.
And she's asking, would an earth sign be better with an air sign?
I always say that. I think earth signs, if they can put up with the air sign, because air signs they're not exactly quiet and they talk a lot. So I think if the earth sign knew a little astrology and they knew that they could laugh about it, or they could tell the air sign, please just, I need quiet for a minute.
Well, I think everyone would do better if we all learned to communicate differently. Better.
That's coming.
In a more healthy, like communicating in a healthy way without taking things personally too, right?
Yes.
Just having open, honest, transparent conversations.
Yes. Without getting offended or upset. That's coming. We have a huge shift coming with the collective. It's going to be next year. And this year it starts with Jupiter. When we have the outer planets, it's more of a collective thing. More of like we see the generational things. Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. They are shifting all into fire and air signs. We've been in a lot of water and earth. We've been in a lot of earth. We're going to air, which means people are going to be talking.
Well, let's hope it's not hot air talking.
Yeah, well, it could be, but
healthy talking.
Healthy
communication.
Well, Aquarius is going to be in Pluto for the next 30 years after it gets done with this retro, which is very, very good. I think it's good.
Doesn't Pluto like shine a light on things?
Pluto brings things up from the bottom of the swamp that we don't want to see. It's transformation. It's death.
I'm ready.
It's
death.
Please
do not email me. I am not suicidal. Please do not. And that was probably a word that's going to get us all in trouble now.
No, it's death. It's death and rebirth. It's the phoenix bird. It's like, you know what? I don't like this. You need to change it. If you don't change it, I'm going to destroy it.
Yeah.
And then it comes back and says, you know what? You didn't change it. You didn't fix that. So
Laura is just sharing. Absolutely, he did ground me, and I brought whimsy to him. How beautiful!
She would bring the Pisces mystical magic and the kindness. They're very kind.
I know, Sarah. So Sarah's mom is actually the person that helps me with all my emails, and she's the one. Sarah's mom is the one who is in charge of my calendar. We just had this conversation about the calendar this week. She said she's got an alter personality called Gladys, and that she's going to start bringing Gladys out.
Gladys needs to password her. Tell your mom, Sarah, to password Carrie Lynn out of her calendar. Gladys needs to step up and just put up. Yeah, she's got to.
Thanks, Sandy. Sandy is just sharing. I'm Gemini, and the sign that is with me in my 6th house is Taurus.
I'm Gemini. The sign is with me. What does that mean? The sign that is with me.
Remember, we were talking about North Node.
Is it North? The sign that's with the North Node is in Taurus in the 6th house.
Yeah.
That is bringing security. Taurus is stability, security. It's money. It's and that could be money in service to people. It could be working for people in the healthcare industry, in the psychological industry, service to people. It could be learning how to handle things day to day in a stable, secure environment and good with money.
That should make sense, Andy? Sarah is saying you tell my mom that. I don't tell her anything. Gladys is mean.
That's hilarious. You gotta tell tell mom, not Gladys, that I say that.
She's listening.
All the time.
She's probably listening, or she'll listen tomorrow. Sometimes she listens later.
God love her heart. Password lock you out. I'm locked out.
She's very good at protecting me. She's very good at protecting me, actually. I'm very grateful to her.
You sneak in, though.
I'm the one that messes it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sneak in an ad.
Well, do you know what it is too? It is the Cancer part of me. So I do the big events, and then I see people that require more than what I can give of 5 minutes at a big event. So then I'm like, I'm going to gift you a session. And the one event at the very beginning of the year, I think I gifted 4 sessions during the one event because there was just so much trauma in their stories that I'm like, I didn't feel I needed to finish it properly. So then I add in a whole bunch of
I,
things
I
that I shouldn't add. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say shouldn't is itty bitty shitty thinking. I'm always grateful to be able to do those. But I need to do it when I have a week that's light and not just keep adding more to already heavy weeks.
That's right. And you have to add that in. You have to balance.
Like on my calendar for Wednesday mornings from 8 until noon, it says emails and shite. So that I'm dealing with emails right now, and I try to block everybody else out. Can't respond to you because I'm working on email, like trying to respond to emails because there's so many of them that I personally have to. I'm whinging. I'm sorry, folks.
No, you're fine. It's hilarious.
Elliot is sharing Aries Aquarius with a moon in Sagittarius.
That's a lot of fire. It's that's a lot. I mean, that's just like bam coming at you. A lot of fun. Just a fiery personality with a wonderful gift to speak to people, to love the collective. That would be a great leader. But Aries, and I'm an Aries rising, so I can say this. The hardest lesson for an Aries is learning that things just roll off your tongue sometimes. It happens with Sagittarius too. It just
With
kind of
no filter.
no, there's no filter. And
But some people need no filter. Some people do not understand subtlety, and what you're trying to impress upon them will just go up over their heads. So you can have no
man,
filter with good intention and loving intention.
Aries,
I always add said with love. So even if it's like a kind of comment, I go said with love. Or just
see,
said with love so you know my intention.
Aries doesn't. Aries does do it with love. They just
Mm.
don't realize it until people that love them come back and say, you know, that really hurt me. Or and then you think about it, and it's like, crap, I said that. But
So with that combo, Aries, Aquarius,
beautiful.
and Moon and Sagittarius, it does feel beautiful. Partner wise, what would match with that?
Well, like the Sagittarius is Sag would get along with everybody. They're a lot of fun. They're free spirited. They love to travel. They love to explore. They love adventure. Aquarius is the same way. So I would look for Aquarius in that combination.
Right.
A Leo that might be too much fire. So I would be with that combination of Aries, Sag, and Aquarius. I would put in another air sign, maybe a Libra, because a Libra could calm the temperature down a little, because Libra is all about balance and peace. But I would also put an earth sign in there, maybe just to ground them a little bit. So I would look for like a Taurus, a Libra, and then what else could we? And then maybe another air sign, an Aquarius in there. So it might be like a double air earth.
Wow.
That's what I would put with that.
Miss Sarah is saying, all jokes aside, I'm Scorpio. My fiance is Leo. We're clashing bad. This is a common clash between these two signs. It's been 2 years. Hardest struggle is my independence and his dominance. But you don't know the other two, like the other signs, right?
Right. But just out of the gate, a Scorpio and a Leo could Well, a Leo is so out there. They're so there. They're so big. They're bigger than life. And there are times that a Scorpio just needs their privacy. They need to go under their rock. They need to think. They're in their head a lot. And I think if the Leo doesn't constantly be, I think a lot of it would be, what did I do? The Scorpio needs time. They need their private time. And the Leo has to come in and understand that, because a Leo is bigger than life. Everything to a Leo is their heart. And you talk about like that Cancer part of you with booking like extra, that's your Leo too, because Leo is all heart. They love with their heart. And so the Leo is going to go after the Scorpio. What did I do? Why aren't you talking to me? And the Scorpio is going, nothing. Just let me get under my rock for a while, and I'm going to come out of my cave, and I'm going to be good. But then, see, a Scorpio can sting very bad if you get. And so the Leo's got to learn to back away a little bit and give the Scorpio a little bit of space.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's still about communication, being able to communicate these things and being heard, seen, and validated, right?
Right. But you have to talk about it. But a Leo is going to get his feelings hurt, and then he's going to put his tail between his legs and walk, be hurt. So you have to be careful with the Leo, because they can be hurt. I would talk to him, Sarah, when it's a good time. Communicate when things are good, not when things are bad. Does that make sense?
And just also,
I love her caps
because I know some of the background.
Does it sound right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's just that there's also all this added stress, Sarah, right? Like medical health stress, mental health stress. There's all sorts of those sorts of things that are also factors, right? In how that influence how people hear and listen. Trauma plays a factor in that.
Well, sure.
Addictions play a factor in that as well too.
There's always factors.
Oh, Diane, I'm glad that you're here. Enjoy your company. And big squishy hugs to you too. And Diane, I know that this is one of the things that I'm supposed to be connecting with you to chat about intuition stuff. And I haven't forgotten, just so you know. I have not forgotten. Kendra, I'm seeing your message here. And I appreciate you being here. We're not giving readings tonight, but I appreciate you being here. And I'm very sorry. She's just sharing that her sister passed away April 16th. So I'm very sorry to hear.
God love her. Carrie Lynn, can you answer this? Is there, I think I've asked you this before, is there, when someone passes away, and I get asked this with, because I do work with families that have missing or, homicide victims.
Hang on a second. We got to flush the toilet. Hang on.
Okay.
Thank you, Howie, for teaching me that.
What? Howie said flush the toilet?
Flush the toilet when the scammy people show up in the chat.
Oh. Scammers. Scammers are fun. They're called sugars. They're not scammers.
I am teachable, Howie. I am teachable.
They're called sugars.
They're called sugars?
Yeah, they're called sugars.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sugars.
That's not what I call them in my head. I use very salty words. I use just very salty, inappropriate words that would get me in trouble words.
Yeah.
Okay, you were going to ask me a question.
Okay.
Sorry.
She said her sister passed away April 16th. When someone passes away, do they have a resting period or a time that they cannot come back and see us or speak to us?
Not from my experience.
Okay.
Yes and no. So yes and no. I have had people who are in a medicated coma space or nonverbal prior to passing that will come through. Then I have people that come through right away before they've even had a funeral or a celebration of life, before they've had a visit, like a visitation with family to see their body before they leave. Yeah, they come in right away. So it just depends on the journey, what the history is, how the how they died, what the family dynamics and relationships are like. I've given messages right away, and I know that there's some mediums that don't agree with that. My take on that is, if they're coming through, they are okay about giving the message. The people here, I'm always asking if they have a good support system. Do they have a grief counselor? Do they have somebody that could help them to like process and be with them when they're receiving the message? But they always come through right away.
Okay.
I've never had, and they do go to a healing place. We all do. We go to this place that looks like a drive-in movie theater screen. So every thought, word, deed, or action, we're watching our whole life play out, and we feel all of it.
Is that true? You do feel the pain that you've incurred on?
Oh yeah.
Oh crap! I'm in trouble. I'm gonna need some popcorn. I'm gonna need popcorn at the drive-in.
Chicago mix. The cheddar and the caramel popcorn mixed together.
Caramel. Oh crap.
But you do. Like, and
so it looks like a big drive-in theater.
You sit in front of this screen and you watch your life play out. And that's sort of that is when I had a number of sessions, because I find it's a theme every week. And it was abuse. It was not parental to child. And the dad, when he came through, showed me the horrible things that he had done. And he was showing me his screen. I saw exactly what he did. He showed me exactly the things that happened to her in her life because of the abuse that she received from him. And then he turned his head around, and it was this elongated like scream mask. It was horrible. And that was his hell purgatory place, because he was feeling all of these horrible things that he did. And was trying to atone and make amends and all that kind of stuff.
Do you work through that then?
Yeah, with him too. Like working with him too, right? Working with that spirit because he's wanting to take ownership of what he had done, wanting to take ownership and accountability. So there's powerful healing. My sessions don't necessarily, we get to the love and yummy stuff at the end. So like that person did what he needed to do, and taking ownership and accountability and apologizing and validating. And then he moved out of the way. And then the soft place, like the grandmother and the mom, came in to make sure that it landed in a yummy place. And that's how all my sessions work.
So you had the person, you were giving a reading to the person that was on the opposite side of this mean person, then the abuser.
Mm-hmm.
So the abuser came in to make amends with the person. And then how long did the screen mask stay on? Did he?
Just until we worked through what he had done.
And then he turned
normal. Then I saw his face.
And then he was normal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that was like a quick fix.
Well, I'm sure it hasn't been for him, because I don't know how long, like however long he was staying there, but that however many people he abused, how often he did it, that's like the hell purgatory place, right?
So that would be like the stuck place, like the gray place.
You create your hell and you create your heaven.
The gray place.
it is.
It's a great
And I
place.
think that my belief is when our little people have those night terrors,
Yes.
I believe that their spirit is nighttime traveling like they do. My one son used to talk about flying with the angels all the time when he was
I
sleeping.
know.
But those night terrors, I believe they're going to that place when people are doing their reviews, and that's what they're seeing.
The
Like
gray, I call that the gray place.
that gray place for sure.
I went to the gray place once and I said, get me the hell out of here. And I
Yeah.
am never, I've
So-
tried out and I'm like, I will never do this again.
With when my kids were having those experiences when they were younger, I always told them, if you are going to, I told them there's no nighttime work because I need to like you in the morning. We need to have an easy morning if I'm sending you to school. So there is no nighttime traveling, no talking to angels, no talking to grandparents. There's none of that bullshittery happening tonight. You're going to, if you want to, on the weekend, you go from here to fifth dimension or higher. You go where the angels are in that ninth dimension. And they used to look at me like I had 8 heads because their conscious self was still little, but their higher self understood. And so we didn't have night terrors after that. We should do a show about little people. I love my salty words too, Sue.
Or the gray place. Get me out of there. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Sandy is just sharing. I've had a friend that passed away in a car accident. I was sleeping. He came in, said goodbye, and then I got a phone call about the accident. Wild. I'm so sorry. Linda is sharing my granddaughter came to me and her sister almost right away. This is your friend, Linda, right?
Yeah, Linda, Miss Linda.
Yeah.
Now she's going to be, what's so cool is Linda and her other granddaughter are taking the astrology class together. Is that so
how
cool?
fun. That is super fun.
Fun. I can't wait.
It is powerful, Linda, because healing can happen at any point in time, and the same as forgiveness. Forgiveness can happen at any point in time. And if we do not learn how to forgive, we create our own stuck space when we die, hanging on to anger and resentment. And it's hard. It's hard, but it's important. Kendra, she passed away suddenly in a car accident. Do you think there is a heaven? There is a heaven-like place, or is she with my son who passed away? From my perspective, I can only share from my perspective, right? And from my experience in sessions is in those tragic passings, loved ones on the other side meet them with angels, with ascended masters, and help them transition quickly. For the most part, that has been my experience. So,
and Carrie Lynn, what I see too when I look at crime charts, and I've even talked to Linda about this. And Linda, I know she won't mind me saying this, but she tragically lost her granddaughter to a horrific homicide. And we've talked about this a lot. And when you look at a chart and you see where this occurred on that night, at that time, is that destined to happen to somebody in such a horrific manner? I can't answer that because I've seen it in the astrology chart that it's already there.
right.
So
And-
what is
and
it?
I don't know. I struggle with that too, because sometimes I don't always have that spiritual perspective where there's a higher meaning and a higher purpose to all of this. Sometimes I feel it's just shite. This is shite, and it's shitey, and
Right.
my heart hurts that it happened, right?
Well, yeah.
Gotta flush the toilet again.
Well, when it's
Oh,
so tragic, when it's such a tragic,
Yes.
like a 16-year-old or a 14-year-old, and it's like, why did this happen? Now, is this for the monster that did this? For it's a lot of questions, because when you look at the astrology and you look at the birth chart, a lot of it's all there. We look at it every week, every show.
Well,
it's like,
and I love and I promote I promote your podcast all the time, but I know that I had to step back because of the way that information was coming from me intuitively.
They were all coming in.
It was so much. It was 3 little people back to back, boom,
I
boom,
know.
boom. And
I know.
I was in the fetal position by the end of the week, even though I know that it's super helpful, but it was so overwhelming on top of what I was already doing that I listened to it when I'm ready.
Yes.
And not like as soon as I'm done sessions and then hopping in and watching and then going, ooh, it was a lot.
And, I started in the forensic field on that level, look what I would call clues. So I would go out and I would just get in my space and I would get clues on where this person was or how they got there. And I was doing that once a week. And I'm like, I can't. So that's when I thought, well, why am I not doing forensic astrology? Because it is so accurate. I can do the mapping for search and rescue, and I'm not pulling into a homicide every week because it is very, very heavy.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And you're open so much, with your job and what you do. You're just gonna say, I'm going to tune into the podcast and here I'm talking about this happening or this happening, and we're looking at maps and crime charts. You're naturally that spirit's going to come to see you, and you're going to.
That was shocking to me, though. I was not prepared, and I was so grateful to you for being open to me sharing. So here's me. All I kept hearing in my head was, Joni, was your voice going, timestamp, timestamp, timestamp.
Timestamp.
So I'm screenshotting as I'm writing, as the information's coming through, and then I'm screenshotting it so that I make sure I had a timestamp from when you're talking and information's coming through, and emailing it to you.
It was hilarious. But the thing about it is, when we do an event chart, the only way I would feel comfortable sending search and rescue people out to look for somebody is if I know that time is accurate, because they could be a mile away and it's, they could be going in swamps and they are literally putting their lives on the line. You know what I mean? They're earth angels. Those people, those guys,
100%. Laura is sharing, my husband came immediately. Interestingly, he had my friend call me with the messages. She was beginning her journey as a medium. I love that, Laura, for a couple of reasons. I had the same thing happen to me when I was first starting. There was a husband that came through for this lady, and she was kind and she was open and kind and generous and letting me share the messages with her because it was a little random moment. And she was a medium as well too. And she's like, why did he come to you, not me? And I think that's why, because it was validating to her that for sure this is him, and it was helping me feel confident with who I was and what I was about to journey into.
I think that's wonderful.
Kendra, yes, there is a peaceful place where we go. There is an in-between place. In the in-between place, we watch our life play out. So that in-between. Purgatory has such a icky feel to it. Yeah. That word has an icky, rigid belief system attached to it. So I don't use the word purgatory at all.
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
Because it looks different for different, like I've seen people who have died tragically. And when I've seen them, they're wrapped in this gauze and they're floating, and it's colors that I don't have words for. And it's, it was a multitude. So it's happened more than once. This multitude of what I perceive as angels singing and holding space for this person that was in a healing space. And then a family member came forward and said, come back again. And so we went back into that space a month later, and then that person was no longer in that healing space, but they were with, I don't even know. It was like this multitude of angels. And what was weird for me with that is it was the most unconditionally loving feeling I have ever felt, ever felt, most unconditionally. And then it felt funky here. Like,
get me back out of this 3D crap.
Yeah. I'd rather go home. Like that felt
Yeah,
like home.
home. Isn't that cool?
I love remote viewing, Diane. Remote viewing helps a lot with loss
Yeah.
and missing people.
Yes.
And actually, the remote viewing I use in every session too, because I have this structure that I like when I'm doing sessions. And part of it is show me where you're hanging out with them. So they'll show me like the inside of a house, or they'll show me exactly how a room layout is, or where somebody's sleeping and where they sit with them. Like the remote viewing is very,
I love that. And
very
you know
helpful.
what's really cool about that, Diane, with the missing and lost people is that it almost adds in a confirmation on a map or an event chart. You know, like these kids that are missing, and they went missing like back in 1982. But if somebody remote views it, and then you can say, oh, you know, look at this, they fell through ice, and then the
Yeah.
chart shows ice. It's like, dang, you know,
That's what
boom,
happened when with those
that happened
cases
with you.
when I sent them to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
was
that's really cool. How, you know, and it's to help people like that. It's just phenomenal. It's great. It's great work. It's just wonderful. It's great. It
um
is. It is.
Denise is just sharing, cool to hear about the night terrors. Very interesting. Michelle is saying, I imagine Spirit is as grateful for you as we are. Thank you.
Yes.
The Wiz is in the room. Hello, my friend. Thanks for being here. Denise is just saying Seraphim Angels. I don't really know. It was a very trippy moment for sure.
And then you had to come back.
Oh, that's brilliant, Diane. Diane Brighton is just sharing the communicate the location, place names map. I have it for RCMP. Yeah.
Well,
I've
then,
done
Diane,
it.
I would love for you to tune in on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock on the Rift Nation Network. And
If you're ready for it.
if you're ready for it, because
Yeah.
you get downloads quick. I'm sorry to say, you'll get a download, and you know it can get a little. Yeah,
It's good, but it's a
it's
lot.
good, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
And I wonder too, Diane, you can chime in on this conversation because we kind of went sideways a wee bit. And you know
That's
what?
all right.
I just have to do my station ID to you guys.
Okay.
So if you are joining in, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being part of the conversation. Thanks for being part of the chat. I appreciate and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here. You are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network. And the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM out of beautiful New Orleans. And we are on Facebook, YouTube, Roku under UFO Paranormal Radio Network. So you can find us in all those places as well too. So my guest today is Joni Templeton-Skinner from True Crime Mysteries Beyond the Veil.
Yep.
And that is with the Rift Nation Network, Wednesday evenings. Oh my goodness. Hang on one second.
I like going off track. I like going all different side tracks. I think it's interesting.
Me too.
I love hearing your stories too.
Oh my goodness.
It's so
Thank you, Keith.
Is that our Keith?
That is
our Keith.
Oh my goodness. Hang on one second. This is happening a little faster than.
That's okay. Keith, check your email. Check your email, Keith. God love him. Speaking of the Scorpio magnet, he's got it too.
Yeah.
You guys all do. You do too. Howie does too.
Hi, Tristan. Thanks for being here. Michelle, yes, we do need a plunger. Yes, we do. There's lots today.
Lots of spam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of them.
So do you feel that zodiac signs, so if we're looking at our sun sign, our moon sign, and our ascendant, that even if we aren't a match, that we could make it work if we're being consciously aware or
Yes.
mindful of the choices and all that kind of stuff? Like,
Sure.
that we can still make it work even if it looks like it may clash on paper?
Absolutely. Of course you could, because if you do like a synastry, which you can do for free online, and you can look at that person, what maybe their little things that they should work on and their positive attributes. Absolutely. If you know it, you can deal with it, right?
Yes. Keith is saying, well, my magnet needs to be stronger. I said that my magnet was attracting the wrong way.
Well,
I don't think it's attracting at all, actually. I don't think my magnet's a magnet. I think it's broken.
charge it. Charge the magnet. Put the solar thing on it.
Oh my
Get the
goodness.
solar thing on the old magnet.
Yes.
Get the solar thing on it. Get the solar charger on it.
So it's all workable, right? But I
Everything's
think,
workable.
how much does, I was going to say personality, but that's part of the characteristics of each trait too, right? Personality is part of it. Like,
Sure. I mean, I think it gives you a little bit. It's almost like psychology in a way, but it's not psychology. But if you know certain traits, yeah, that's funny. If you know certain
But I was
traits,
thinking too, even the negative traits, like some people, their only creative outlet is drama. That is how they are creative. They are creative because they create drama, and that's their comfort zone. They're very good at it. And so that type of person would continuously choose something that is going to be like this. Would they potentially?
could be, but that would be like I think every sign has a lower level vibration on things that they need to work on and a higher level vibration. But, if I smell drama, I run. I
Me
mean,
too. They see the bottom of my shoes.
I like the.
I don't like sweating.
I know, it's like I smell drama. Do you see that T-shirt? I smell drama. I'm getting out of here. It's like no.
I agree, Keith. We need to switch the polarity for sure.
Yeah, I like charge it on the full moon.
Yes, that's
Put the
Muriel.
magnet out on the full moon.
Put it in the full moon and charge it.
Yeah.
I didn't go outside to see the moon last night. Did you?
No, I didn't, but it was a really good full moon. It was probably one of the nicest that we're going to have all year.
My daughter messaged me. She said it was huge.
It's called I think it was the flower moon.
It was the flower moon last night. I did some some, if anybody's interested, I have an intuitive mentoring group on Facebook called Carolyn's Morning Porch. And on the full moons, I do energetic cord cutting and a meditation, and I give a few messages. So
isn't that wonderful? Because that's what a full moon is for, is release.
Yeah, so I do it most full moons. Sometimes I have an event and I can't, but I try to do it as close to.
That's wonderful.
You saw the moon.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful and big, Sue Ross. And look at another owl.
And
what
are those little cryptids called? What are they called?
Chick Charney.
Chick Charney.
Yep. Chick Charney. Tanya's just sharing the cord cutting and meditation was so supportive. Joni, is your next course the same as the last one, or can we take it if we did the intro one with you? So the one you're doing in June is another intro course, correct?
Yes, June 22nd is another intro, but I'm going to do the transit one as soon as we can schedule it with Donna. So that the transit's coming. Transits are going to be fun. Transits are what moves around. I think transits are fun because that's what's happening to you currently, right?
Oh.
So see, they move around the circle. They move around your circle. So it's like, oh crap, Saturn's getting ready to hit my natal Mercury. Uh-oh. Or, that kind of stuff.
So you know how to plan. Thanks for being there last night. Sandy's sharing. Thank you for that last night. It's so great. Sue is saying that she's working on the next class. The Wiz is just saying, I use the full moon to charge my runes. That's awesome.
Awesome. That's wonderful. It was a really spiritual full moon last night.
I have rune signs. I have rune signs that I put on chicken toe bones. Like dehydrated chicken bones.
I used to have runes when I was a teenager, and I loved them.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll be taking the transit course. Oh, good. It was good. Transits are fun. Now transits they're a little bit complicated, but you've already got the natal part of it down if you've taken the first class. So you've got kind of the idea. The natal chart doesn't move, and the transits go around it. So the planets are interacting with your natal chart. So it's like, oh crap,
And each planet has its own characteristics or qualities or influences.
Yes, energy.
Yeah,
its own energy. Like, Mercury is communications. Venus is love. Mars is drive. It's energy. Right. Everybody's got their own little energy. So it just like if you have I'll text you and I'll say, tonight's going to be a great, Neptune and the moon are really working in your favor to talk to spirits.
Oh, yeah.
And tap into that energy and just picture Neptune or picture the energy of Neptune, like the planet or Neptune or the ocean, or you know what I mean?
And it's funny because the last time you had texted me saying, oh, spirits are going to be really chatty tonight. And they were, I could barely keep up. It was like, people were coming through in the room.
Yeah, it was a Mercury Neptune. And I remember you said you're going to an event. And I'm like, oh, crap, she's going to get bombarded.
Yeah, before I even got there. Sue is asking, how often will you run the beginner course?
I don't know if we're going to, probably once a month. I imagine. I'm doing it a shop in my area. It's called Silver Wolf Treasures and Gifts. She's sponsoring it. So I do the live class first, and then I do the video class afterward. So we've got June scheduled, and she's going to have a big event in July. So I'll talk to her about it and see, but probably a monthly class. It's a lot of fun.
It was fun.
I enjoy it.
It was fun.
So,
and it's good when you can see that what you do in person can translate on a Zoom or online as well too.
Yeah.
Like
Zoom,
I don't feel like we missed out.
No, I mean, I think live you can actually show people and you're right there. So you're physically right there. But the Zoom class, I thought, well, I'm going to take their charts and put a little bit more information on the natal chart.
You're very generous. You were very generous with us.
But I think, to learn how to interpret a natal chart is key, or at least get it down as to what everything is.
Yeah.
And then you learn the transits. That's where you can get stuck. You got good transits coming. We all do, really. A lot of us do. With Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of blessings and abundance. It changes into a different house, which is a different aspect of your life once a year.
Well, I'm ready.
It's moving into Gemini tomorrow. Gemini is chatty. Chatty.
Tomorrow night's another event.
Oh,
charity event for mental health.
It's going to be explosive because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And here you go. They're going to be chatting again.
Chatty. We planned these well then. Tanya's just showing yes, agreed, very generous. Keith is saying he thinks he was the only guy in the class. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You must be used to that, though. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I find even in the other intuitive courses, or like even with the intuitive group that I have, there's very few men.
There are a lot of male astrologers though out.
Oh, somebody, I know that I read that. I missed it somewhere up here. Somebody was, I don't think it was Diane. Diane, if it was you, then please remind me, but I don't think it was you. Somebody mentioned that their 16-year-old nephew does astrology or passes on messages from spirit, and very accurate and bangs out the messages.
It's wonderful.
Really quick tapping him.
Wonderful. I think anytime you use divination and you learn divination, it helps with intuition and clairvoyance.
Oh, it does. And for me, when I'm teaching, I feel the divination tools you can learn to grow past. You use them to help you have confidence, to have clarity, to validate you when you get going.
Yes.
But afterwards, you can outgrow them because it's all coming from here anyway.
Right.
It's all coming from spirit, and and depending on who is receiving the message to, sometimes you have to present something that they can see. Sometimes they don't hear the message well. They need to see it.
Exactly.
Tristan is asking, so next month, I believe all the planets line up. What would that possibly mean?
I don't know what you mean by like line up, like it in a, like we've got coming up like a triple conjunction.
Yes.
Like they're all lined up on top of one another. So it can be fiery. It depends on where they're at, what sign they're all in. Say, for example, they're all lined up and they're all next to each other and that happens where they're all clumped up together and they're all like in Taurus. Well, Taurus is very steady and safe, and it just moves along like that, as opposed to when they're all in Aries, it's going to be like bam, all fire, it's going to be like bam, 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 bam. So it just depends on what they're in, what sign they're in, what they're interacting with other planets as well. But it can be, we've got a couple full moons coming up like in August and that are pretty active. But now we enjoy this, this energy in 2024 has been wonderful. It's astrologically.
Keith is sharing, I think the planets line up in a straight line in the sky.
Then that would mean they were all conjunct. So they're all together. So it would be their conjunct. Look in your notes, Keith. What's a conjunction? He did that the other night.
Taurus and clairvoyant. Wiz is just sharing. So
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Taurus is.
Wiz, do you know what the other signs are for you? Your moon sign and your ascendant. So if Taurus is your sun sign, do you know what the other signs are for your birthday?
Yeah. Especially the moon with the clairvoyance. Taurus is the steady. They're the secure. They're like the big security blankets. They like safety. They like security. They're great with working. They're wonderful, steady people. They're very down to earth, and they love the earth. They are the sign of the woods and the earth. And
I just described you perfectly.
But they're the rocks. I call them the rocks. My dad was a Taurus, and he would calm you just by his energy would calm you. They're very calming people. Linda, I told Linda she should meet a Taurus, and she's like, I'm still waiting for my Taurus. Linda, you got to go out and find them. The Taurus isn't going to come to you. You got to go find your Taurus.
Keith is saying I would, but I'm at the bar. Stopped for one before.
Oh,
Well, thanks for including us.
yeah. Thanks for the
Thanks
blue
for saying
moon with the slice of orange.
Oh, you know what, Wiz? We can figure it out for you.
Yeah, we can figure
You
it.
send me a message on Facebook. Tell me when your birthday is,
And the time.
the time, the year, and where you were born.
Yeah.
I won't make it public, I promise.
You can do his chart.
We'll figure it out. Oh, here we go. Just hang tight.
You got more?
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
I
Sugars.
would assume coming from Facebook, probably, because Facebook is.
Sugars.
Mm-hmm. I'll just plunge that out. It's a lot.
That's okay. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
No. Thank you. We'll figure it out. Then we'll figure out your perfect match.
Yeah. Figure out the perfect match.
Because it's always better to focus on other people than myself.
Absolutely.
Like even I still have to look at that chart. I did my son's instead and started focusing on him. If we're talking about love matches and matches, did I ask you this already? Which ones are more combative or for sure like oil, water?
Oil and water would be signs that I feel like that are opposite. You might not
Too far opposite?
that are on opposing sides. Like you're going to see a lot of times like Aries and Libra are a good match. Well, they're actually opposites. They oppose one another. They're at each end of the spectrum. Okay, same thing with Scorpio and maybe Taurus. So you've got them at opposite ends, Leo and Aquarius. So when you've got opposing signs, I think that they're opposites. But maybe opposites do get along sometimes. You know,
so the other factors come into play if they can make it work.
If they can make it work. And then you've also got signs that square. Like Aries, Cancer, and Capricorn.
Right.
Those would be fucking heads. Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius could buck. They're squares, so there could be some friction.
What does that mean, square?
Square is at 90 degrees apart. So if they're at a 90-degree angle, there's a combative type of something that you've got to work through. If you could work through everything, you would be good. Squares are 90 degrees apart from one another.
Oh, that's what I wanted to. Thank you. Michelle is saying, I think my Pisces opposes everything. No.
I love you. No, they don't. I like Pisces.
Clear, cancel, and delete. Clear, cancel, and delete. And thank you very much. That's what we're going to tell the universe with that. So you're not putting that energy out and not creating that block. We're just going to clear that.
I will continue to say it. The world is too mean for Pisces. Pisces, they have that heart. I mean, it's just very feeling people.
Keith is sharing a very bad experience with an unhealed Gemini and unhealed Taurus.
I told you to run.
We know that there's typos because you stopped for a cold one on your way on your way home.
Those are beer typos. That's so funny.
Or texting, auto texting,
or talk texting.
I am always like chubby fingers, little keys. Chubby fingers, little keys, and all my typos.
I know.
Kylie is just sharing. This is my first live. Thank you very much for being here. Astrology is very interesting, and Joni is brilliant. I'm curious if Libra and Gemini are a good match. Libra, woman, Gemini, male.
Well, they're supposed to be.
I'm sorry. I should not have assumed, but.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Also coming up on Gemini season? Is there anything I should be worried about? That's a great question.
It's a good Gemini season for the Geminis. So the Geminis that are coming up are really going to have a great season. Jupiter is headed into Gemini. Gemini has really got the sun and the planets really aligned for it this year into 2025. So, Libra and Gemini are both air signs. I think Gemini can sometimes go off into too many little shoots of interests, and a Libra likes to learn one thing and master it. So I think if you can keep the Gemini a little bit more grounded, I think it's a good match. It's always going to be exciting. It's going to be chatty. It's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
As long as you can keep that Gemini kind of grounded a little. They shoot all over the place. They want to learn this. They want to do that. They want, so they just got to be calm a little bit. And a Libra can calm that.
Tristan, you know what, Tristan? It just clicked in my head. Tristan. Thank you for being here. I don't always remember names off the top of my head, but now I'm remembering. So Tristan is asking Capricorn male and Leo male.
If the Capricorn understands that the Leo needs to get out and shine, and yes, Capricorn, have some fun with the Leo and let your guard down and have fun. And, Capricorns have a very dry humor. They're actually quite funny and they love to work. Have fun with that Leo. And I think it's a good match. They're both hard workers. They both strive. But the thing about it is Capricorn needs to enjoy the Leo larger than life. If that makes sense, and not be like, oh, I'm going to go sit in the corner and be mad. Go and admire them and enjoy it.
And from my perspective in observations from past experiences, I don't seek attention. I'm not seeking when I'm in work, right? And people do come. So understanding that as long as there's good communication and there's trust, that Leo is not seeking outside of the partnership when there's attention coming that way, you know, like,
and trust them, because Leos are very loyal, very loyal. And they, like I said, they can be like the little flower in the middle of the room, and it comes to them. And I think, Capricorns are they're great people. Like I said, if I was ever like Elon Musk, my CEO would be a Capricorn. They're smart. They're great business people, hard workers, and enjoy that and enjoy what they bring to the table too. Oh, that makes so much sense. Good. Oh, Michelle. Yeah, I laughed at her. She's a Gemini ascendant. And she's like, I just want to learn everything all at once and then do this and do that. And I said, yeah, that's Gemini.
Wow. Yeah, just good. I'm glad that makes
good
sense for you.
I think it's a great match. I think the sky's the limit with that match. Very successful match in business, in a partnership. I think it's a great match. I love it.
Exciting.
I love that match.
We did ask for where was our Pisces lady?
Our Pisces what? Michelle's a Pisces.
Michelle. Yeah.
She's so cute. She'll be in the next June 22nd class too with Linda in heaven. And now I'm excited.
Oh, and Haley, and Haley is going to be in that.
Yeah, she's too. I'm so excited.
It'll be so fun.
I think and a girl named Lisa's going to be in there. I gotta look.
It's going to be great.
It'll be a good class.
Can you tell people where they can sign up if they are interested in taking the class?
Go to astrologymeetstruecrime.com, and the event flyer is in there. Silver Wolf Treasures and Gifts on Facebook. She's got information on there. Or you could just get me on Messenger, Joni Templeton-Skinner. Just reach out to me and I'll answer any questions. Or you can email me straight from the website too. astrology-truecrime.com.
And if you are messaging from Canada, the messages go through, but sometimes the payment needs to be worked out a little different.
Oh, no, that was just me.
Okay.
That was me on PayPal. I'm just PayPal ignorant. I'm just like I have no idea what I was doing. I like hooked it up to the website. I don't even know what I'm doing. But now it's figured out.
Good.
Now I have to bill people.
Because you need to bill me.
Oh, okay, I will. I forgot.
Yeah, you need to bill me.
Scorpio. Oh, okay. The Scorpio female has to understand that the Capricorn works and needs to work. That's their passion. That's their love. And it's not that they're ignoring you. They would love you with their heart and soul. And they love through working hard to be good providers. And it's work, work, work. And it's like you have to actually kind of show a Capricorn, you can have fun. And they've actually got wonderful sense of humor. They're funny people. And they like to go out, but the Scorpio can just and Scorpios are so loyal, but they're intense. So just turn your intensity down a little bit for that Capricorn, because I think it might scare them a little. Scorpios get very intense.
Yes.
But a Capricorn would also understand when a Scorpio needs their alone time. So I like that match too. But Scorpio, don't be too possessive. If they're working late, they're working. Trust me, they would be working. Look at Keith. Hey, true. Yeah, you do.
That's so funny. Okay, folks. So if you go to my website, which is carrylynshellhorn.com, there is an event page. Sue is just sharing so true. I do have an event page. I know for the most part, most of the events have sold out for the year, but I am adding a few more events in, but I just haven't got the tickets available for all of the stuff that's already on the calendar. So I'm putting some stuff up. I'm doing a really cool event in St. Thomas, Ontario at a theater that's a former church. So I'll be giving messages and for VIP tickets, we're going to be doing an investigation of the theater afterwards. That's coming up in October. And I'm going to be in Odessa outside of Kingston, Ontario, July 6th for the Love Life Afterlife, giving messages there for a couple of hours. And I'm going to be at the Lake Superior Paracon. So we're going to be doing an investigation. There's a meet and greet. I'm doing a Spirits and Sweets gallery event on the Sunday. Jeff Belanger will be there, Shane Pittman, Dale Quigley, Michael John from the Paranormal Voice out of Windsor, Ontario. There's a whole bunch of people going to be there. So, and Laura Lee Potvin, who is like the host of the Angel Rock on Mondays here on the UPRN network, and the Thing at the Foot of the Bed with David Hansel on Thursday evenings. So she's also going to be presenting in Thunder Bay. And that's going to be the first time the two of us will get to meet in person. It'd be like you and I meeting.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, chatty. It's going to be
chatty.
So I hope to see some people out that way. Next week, yes, Michelle is coming. That's going to be so much fun. It's going to be an adventure for sure.
Fun.
Next week on the show is going to be a great show, folks. Laura Lee Potvin is going to be on the show. Kim Sage, your
Kimmy.
Kimmy's going to be on, and Julie Krause, spiritual advisor. So I'm going to do a mediumship panel with these lovely ladies, and we're not going to be giving messages, but we're going to be talking about mediumship, the myths and realities of of being a medium.
Wow.
Giving some tips and tools to people, talking about our journeys. It'll be fun too. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I need it to be a little bit fun too and not super serious.
That'll be fun.
Yes. I think the last time Laura Lee was on, I asked her who her paranormal crush was. If she had a paranormal crush, somebody in the field, if she had a paranormal crush. So, yeah, and I think I sometimes ask a lot about, what's your favorite snack to bring on an investigation, that kind of stuff. Like,
I love Kim.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. This is the first time I'll be able to spend time with Kim.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I do events in Brantford. My daughter's moving to Brantford next weekend, actually. So I'll be in Brantford a whole lot more.
You'll be a lot.
I'll be in Brantford a lot. So I do a lot of events for the charity Help a Child Smile, the kids charity. And I know that we're putting one on the calendar, but it might not be till 2025. They're just waiting for me to send them a date. But thanks for asking. So I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you so much for being here. Stay hanging out on the UPRN network, because Jeffrey Pritchett is up next with the Church of Mavis, and we all love Jeffrey. He's a sweetheart. So we hope that you hang out and listen to his show next. So have a good week, everybody, and we'll see you next week at 6. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.